Hello, welcome to my channel, Autumn and the Mage. This is a general reading in regards to love for Cancer. It is general, so it might not resonate for you. If it does, I'd love to hear about it. If you could like the video to let me know or post a comment, I'd really appreciate it. If it doesn't resonate for you, or if there's some portion of it that doesn't resonate for you, please don't try to force it. Just take what feels right for you, what your intuition is telling you is your story, and leave the rest behind. It is general, so there may just be portions of it that don't apply to you, and that's completely normal. So we're starting here, with the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck, trying to get an overall energy for you and this connection that you find yourself in. Can we please get overall energy? So the card that we get was card number 31. It says the Worm Moon, and the word here is faith. It's really an interesting card. It talks about faith, having faith, and how things are improving. Okay, this is that time between winter and spring, or as winter is ending and spring begins. You're coming out of something that's been maybe hard or heavy, and you might not see yet that the growth is right ahead of you. You know what I mean? It's right there within reach. It's approaching you. It's definitely coming towards you. And so this is about having faith in that, looking for the signs of it, not like not like watching focused energy on looking for any evidence that hope is there. That's not what they mean. They just mean it is coming towards you. Have faith in it. Have faith in that growth, in that spring that is coming towards you, and know that it's coming. Okay. So it's about that faith. It's about coming out of that darkness and going into that spring, and growth and positivity and light. And the reason why it's called the worm, they refer to the worm moon. They talk about how rich soil that's rich with nutrients and worms. That's what they talk about. But anyway, so yeah, the have faith, because things are going to start looking up, really, is what that is about. We're going to take a look now at how the person you're connecting with feels about you. And then we're going to take a look at most likely near future. Okay, what things we can expect in the connection in the near future. But first we're going to take a look at how they feel for you, Cancer. Can we get 3 cards for how this person feels about Cancer? The first card we got is the 4 of Wands. What was this card? 31. Okay. Which becomes 4. I'm sorry. Both of these cards are 4s. And so I wondered if this had 4s in it too. And 31 actually becomes 4 because you add the 3 and the 1 together. So it becomes 4. So that's a lot of 4s on the table already when we just started the reading. But 4 of Wands is a card of celebration. So feeling like what you've been through together is or feeling like the road to get here, I'm wording this wrong, like however you got to this point, okay, it's worth celebrating. Like whatever has happened in the past, it's brought you here to this moment and to the future that's unfolding before you. That's what this card is about. And it's about unity. It's about more than one person, and it's often considered like a marriage card. But as for feelings, it's a feeling of celebration of all that has been and all that will be. It's a hopeful energy. But we get the 4 of Cups, which is a focus on things that aren't turning out the way that we hope. It's a disappointment. It's feeling like, gosh, I really invested in this and it isn't what I thought it would be. It's really interesting feelings to come out together, a feeling of celebration of all that has been, but also a disappointment in what it looks like. It's weird energies. Maybe there is an aspect of disappointment, but like hope, like this hasn't exactly gone as well as I hoped it would, but I'm still grateful that I've had it. The Four of Cups does not make me think of gratitude in any way whatsoever, but the Four of Wands is it's just so hopeful. And it is a celebration card. Oh, we also get the Empress, okay? And this is a card of growth. The Empress she's often pregnant because this card talks about giving birth to something, and fertility, and perhaps that has something to do with your message here, but not necessarily. The Empress is just, she creates things, okay? But as far as feelings go, it's about a desire to create, and it's also about a desire, also feeling attracted to someone. The Empress is very attractive energy, very alluring energy, very warm and welcoming energy. So yeah, that's all. I mean, that's really great. There's a lot of things haven't gone exactly how I hoped they would. It really ties in well with that Faith card there. Let's take a look at what we might see in the near future in this connection. Okay, can we get, what might we see? What are we likely to see in the near future of this connection, please? The Empress, by the way, is Taurus and Libra energy. You might be dealing with one of those signs. What might we see in the near future of this connection, please? What are we likely to see in the near future? We get the Star, which is an 8, which is 2 4s. But anyway, the Star is a card of healing and a card of wish fulfillment and wishing and hopeful. More hope. There's just so much hope on here on the table. We get Temperance, which is a Sagittarius card, so you might be dealing with a Sagittarius card, but this is about balance and timing, patience and balance. Yeah. Both of these cards speak of healing in my mind, both the Star and the Temperance card, because in time we heal if we allow it, and the Star is definitely a card of healing, but also, like I said, wishing, hoping, and dreams coming true. Can we get one more? What might we see what are we most likely to see in the near future? Page of Swords, which is the Page of Swords, I think of him as like the private investigator of tarot. He's trying to answer a question, but he's not necessarily coming at it. He's not asking it. He's watching and he's observing and he's asking. He's thinking a lot within himself, trying to determine the answer. So in the future here, there's a lot of healing. There's patience, and for me, I'm a fire sign, and this would be frustrating for me. But like, and so if you feel that way, I'm sorry, but you are being told, it's right there. This is that time right before growth and beauty and blossoming. So have faith, know that it's coming. And yeah, because it is. Let's take a look at this person's feelings, though. That Four of Wands, that feeling of celebration and hope for the future. Oh, it says on this card, how interesting. At the bottom here, I like this tarot deck. I got it off Etsy, and I don't know what it's called because it didn't come in packet, like it didn't come in a box. It came in a bag. But on it, it's I like it because it has all this outside information, like fire and Aries. This is a fire and an Aries card, so it's very helpful, and it shows you the reverse, meaning I don't generally take cards in reverse unless they happen to fall that way, but I keep my cards in the upright. But down here it says, be ready for the opportunity you've worked for. Okay. And so it just implies that it speaks again of what's coming for you, what's coming towards you. There's a lot of hope on the table here is what I want to say. we get the Queen of Pentacles. So this is Earth energy. This is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But the Earth of Pentacles, I'm sorry, the Earth of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very motherly kind of nature. I mean, what energy? My gosh. I think of the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles as very similar energies. They're both very nurturing, caring and nurturing energy there. We get the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new beginning in something. This is a new beginning is something stable, something that you can commit yourself to, something that you can hold on to and grow into more. And then the Eight of Cups, that's interesting, which is walking away from things that no longer serve, walking away from things that you've invested yourself in, letting those things go and moving forward, okay, is what that's about. And a lot of people look at this as a sad card, like someone's walking away from you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that at all, especially connected to these two cards. I wouldn't think that is what this is saying in any way. And I don't know if you, I don't know. Let me see if I can, here we go. We're going to turn this on. And then I'm going to hold this card up for you. Because see, if you look here, there are 8 cups on the table, but there's clearly a slot where a 9th cup was sitting, okay? And that message has always really been important for me personally, because that cup that they've taken is something that they are investing their hope in. That's their hope right there. They're taking that cup because that's something that they really want to make more out of. These things didn't work out. They're going to walk away from that, but they're going to take that hope and take that to a new place and walk towards that hope and what it can bring them, And so there's something here about a new beginning and letting go of those things that aren't serving them. And I feel like this is something that is happening now, because this is about how they feel right now. Okay. This is about the future. So right now it's like they're hopeful for that future. They're trying to walk away from the things that didn't serve them, the things that have disappointed them, which is what this Four of Cups is. I mean, they feel disappointed in something, and there's energy here of them trying not to focus on it, but still at the same time focusing on it, which I totally get, because in feelings we often get, especially when we're going through a period of change or we're experiencing something so when we're going through a period of change is really what I meant to say. When we're going through a period of change, our emotions can reflect opposite ends at the same time. We feel both hopeful and devastated, and that's okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's completely normal, because in change, in order for things to change, something has to end. Okay, something has to die. And I don't think that this is the relationship you're in, but maybe some aspect of it or some part of it, something that you and they hoped for, or something that they hoped for that didn't work out. And so they have to let it go. We have the Hierophant, which is more Taurus energy here. So you really might be dealing with a Taurus, but the Hierophant is about the proper steps, moving up, but moving up in the way that you're supposed to, what society expects, and what the path that you've always been told you have to walk down, or been told or felt maybe that you had to walk down. And so this disappointment has to do with that, conforming to what the steps that have to happen, and so that's what the disappointment is in regards to. Let's take a look at this Empress card. Can you clarify the Empress, please? We get the Fool, the Sun. Wow, this is so many cards. Okay, it's a lot of cards. We get the Fool first off, which is a new beginning. The Fool is Aries energy. You might be dealing with an Aries, but this the Fool is leaping off the edge. They have no fear. They're just full of hope and enthusiasm, excitement, and faith that where they land is going to be safe, and where they land and the adventure they're about to go out on is intended for them and it will bring them where they want to go. Okay, so this is that leap of faith. We get the Sun, which is Leo energy, also the happiest card in the deck. You know, there's this faith and this hope of jumping into something and finding that sunlight, finding that joy. We also have the Seven of Pentacles, which talks about um, where we've invested ourselves. We've planted seeds, and we can't help those seeds anymore. We've done everything we can. We've invested in it, and now we just have to let it be. We have to let it happen. Okay. Then we get the Strength card, which is another Leo card. That's Leo energy, which is about, it can be about taming ourselves, like holding ourselves back almost, holding back the storm within, or holding back the passion within, or it can be about taming. It's also, though, about courage and having courage. But I do think this is about taming themselves. I think this is about holding back, because the next card we get is the Death card, which is Scorpio energy. So I might be dealing with a Scorpio, but the death is something ending. And so having to let something end so that you can move forward. And I think possibly what they're letting end is that whatever they've been holding back, whatever they've been like keeping locked within themselves. In this card, there's just so much power behind what is happening. This witch here is walking with this line. I don't know how well you can see this, but there's like a tornado back here, and which she's totally controlling. As she walks with this lion, she's in control of that tornado, and she's keeping it back. And it really talks to me about it makes me think very much of holding back that storm, holding back what sometimes your fears, but whatever it is you're keeping buried, whatever it is you're keeping back there in the distance. Okay. And I feel like letting that go. So this is all about, there's just so much on their side about letting go of what hasn't worked, or letting go of holding back, and just diving forward. There's a lot of hope coming from them, just so much hope. Let's go ahead and take a look at the near future. Sorry, I had a tiny knock at the door with my son. Sorry about that. Back to the star here for the future. Can we please, the near future, most likely near future, we've got the star here, which is healing and hope and wishing, okay? We get the Empress, which again is Taurus and Libra energy. And look, she's pregnant. She's holding her belly. I don't know if you could see that, but she's pregnant. And this is, this is that wish, that child inside of her, that is that wish, this star right here, which maybe what you're facing has to do with children, and maybe it has to do with, maybe, okay, this might resonate for someone here, but maybe there has been a loss. Maybe you were pregnant, or your partner was pregnant and they lost the baby, and now you're finally like getting past that loss and moving towards the hope of having a child in the future. So maybe that's what this has to do with. I'm just saying it because it's what I see here, but it doesn't have to apply for everyone. This pregnancy here, though, it represents that wish, this star, and the growth of it, because you don't just make wishes. I mean, you make wishes, but you have to take steps towards them as well. We have to invest ourselves towards those wishes. You can't just not just physically, but energetically, in manifestation. You have to focus on what you want. You have to have faith that it will come. You have to know it will come, and you have to believe that you deserve it. Okay. And those are all those can be very hard things to do. Believing that you will get exactly what you want, that can be really hard to do, but it takes work on your part. And sometimes there are actual physical steps you have to take as well. In order for a new beginning, we have to sometimes make change in our life. We have to end something, like I said, so something else can begin. And I'm just rambling. I'm very sorry. This represents that hope, okay? And how it's on its way. That's what I feel like this message is. But also with the Empress, that's like our divine partner. That's That's she is the divine feminine, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. That talks about the person that we're supposed to be with, the one that is meant for us. And so it has to do with that as well, that divine partner. Let's take a look at Temperance, which is a patience card, a timing card. In Temperance, she's like mixing these elements here. She's mixing these two cups, and she's trying to find like the perfect balance, the right mixture that makes it just exactly how it should be. And that takes time, and trial and error, and continuing to work at it. So that's what that card speaks about, talks about. Can I get clear? Okay, the moon. The moon, which is things being hidden, like it's not going to be obvious. Whatever, in time, I feel like something here is going to take time. It's going to take a little bit of time, and that's not obvious to you with the moon. It's hidden. You might not see it exactly. Um, you might not see it exactly for what it is, this blessing, this like star that's coming towards you. But it is going to take time. And that faith card, that the first card here in the reading, did talk about watching for signs, because it's not always obvious. It might not come exactly from where you think it will. We've always grown in this field, and so we're waiting for this field to be ready for us to plant in it again. But then because we're focusing on it, we maybe don't see that there's another field here that's ready to be used right now, and ready to be taken, an opportunity that's ready to be taken advantage of. It's right here. So perhaps that it's coming from something you don't see. From the Page of Swords, what do we get here? Oh my gosh. We get the Temperance card. Patience. So yeah, in the future here, it's not going to be very obvious. It's not going to be very clear. This might, like I said, I'm a fire sign. I would find this frustrating, but hopefully you don't, because it really is coming. It really is. And it really is. It's just going to take a minute, and it might not look exactly how you think it's going to look, or it might come from somewhere other than what you think it's going to come from. There is a future, though. It is bright, and it is gorgeous, and it's blossoming and sunny. It's right there. So have that faith, have that faith. We're going to pull an oracle message for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it resonated for you. I hope that it brings you some kind of hope and clarity here, Cancer. But if it did, I'd love to hear about it. If you are interested in telling me more about your story, like what this means to you, I would so love to hear it, honestly. If you don't want to post in the comments, my email address is below. If you want a private conversation, you can always email me there. But yeah, I would love to hear about it. So do message me if you feel inclined to. But let's go ahead and get advice for Cancer, please. Advice for Cancer. That's a lot of cards. I got 3 cards here. Card number 41, which says care for yourself. Card number 3, which says see beauty in others. This card came out. I was shuffling before your reading, and this card came out. Anyway, it's just showing itself again. And love is always present, card number 14. That's interesting. Care for yourself, see the beauty in others, and love is always present. This card here I just read, so I'm going to go to that one first. Card number 3, see beauty in others. And what this, I literally just read it because I pulled this out before your reading. So I was reading it. And what this card talks about is when we see other people succeed, sometimes we feel bitter about that, they're succeeding and they're achieving what I want to achieve, and they're getting all the things that I desire for myself, and we find ourselves kind of being bitter about it. But uh, that puts up blocks for you, like creating that negative energy that puts up blocks for you. And so the card is calling for you to see see the beauty in their accomplishments, acknowledge um, acknowledge what they have, and acknowledge all that they are. And when you see that beauty in them, you shine brighter because of it. When we focus on positivity, period, we shine brighter. But this is specifically in regards to somebody else. And this is a very specific message. If you feel like everyone around you is achieving what you want, celebrate their achievement. See the greatness of what they've accomplished, enjoy it for them and be happy for them. And in doing that, you open more doors for yourself. You shine brighter, and you attract more towards yourself by shining brighter. So that's what this card is about here. We're going to go to 41, care for yourself. And 14, that is amusing to me. I don't know if that's amusing to you, because there's 4s in both of them, but this is 4-1 and that is 1-4. Um, and I don't know if it means anything to you, but there's nothing more selfless than taking care of yourself. Do you sacrifice your own needs in favor of others? Is your need to be of service fueled by your guilt of not being enough? You've decided that tending to your needs is selfish and unkind. In your feelings of unworthiness, you've paid for affection with service. You've seen those that you serve as helpless and small and resented needing to help them. And then, when you felt ambushed by their demands, you've collected the guilt of putting yourself first. This card reminds you that you cannot serve others if you don't serve yourself. You have nothing to give when you're depleted. You have nothing to share when you're starved. Today, turn the spotlight of your attention to your own needs first. Provide care for yourself and replenish your own reserves. You are most powerful when you tend to your own needs. With this radical act of self-love, release the resentment you've harbored towards those you've served. This is when you realize that those you serve are already whole, and that even your service of them serves you first. That it's so you're being called to focus on caring for yourself, which is important to do. There was a note in here about, first off, a couple things stand out to me. Is your need to be of service fueled by your guilt of not being enough, which is a feeling that many of us have, feeling like we're not good enough. And so we give, trying to improve who we are by giving, which is just something that stands out for me. Perhaps you connect to that statement as well. But also here it says, you've it talks about resenting the fact that they need your help, and that tied to this makes me feel like those two messages are tied together. Like, embrace all that they are becoming. Focus on yourself, focus on your self-love, focus on your self-development. Be excited for who they are and what they've become, and the road that it's taken for them to get there. Okay. And then last, love is always present. 14. In every moment, you are either being loved or you are becoming love. Do you ever feel lonely in the absence of love? Does your heart long for a true connection? You've buried your heart beneath false stories you've told of love. You've barricaded yourself, waiting for your beauty to be discovered. You've said, I have so much to give, and finished your sentence with, and no one to give it to. And with these thoughts of separation, you shrouded your own vision and then called out in darkness for the love you have hidden from yourself. This card reminds you that you are the energy of love individualized in human form, and therefore you can never be separated from love. How can you not be the very thing of which you are made? Every act is either an experience of love or a cry for love. If you seek love, you've forgotten your true essence. You're sitting inside the overflowing stream of love that is your birthright and refusing to drink. You're parched for affection because you're withholding love from yourself. Today, look into the mirror and acknowledge your own beauty. Write down a list of your own positive aspects and allow the love that is already present within you to flow freely through your life. There's just so much here about positivity and hope, and like seeing the positive and looking for the positive um and in doing that, you lift yourself, you raise yourself higher. And I don't know, that's just really standing out in these three messages here for me. These two here, these two tie in a way and these two tie in a way. It just feels like, focus on yourself, focus on meeting your own needs, focus on all that you have to offer, like, and celebrate all that others have, like all of that together. And it's just all positivity is what it is. It's just be positive. Help yourself, see the beauty in yourself, celebrate others. It's just a very clear message. Maybe that's what I'll name this video, but that's all that I have for you. I hope that this resonates for you. Like I said, please let me know if it does. Please remember to move forward with positive thinking, positive words, generosity, and gratitude, because all of those are very positive things. And when you do them, you draw in more positivity to your life. So good luck to you, Cancer. I really hope that you have a beautiful day. I hope that this situation, you start to see the hope here and you really have faith in your future, because it's there. It's right there. So good luck to you, and I hope I see you again. Bye.